listeners from around the world. Are you ready? Do you love movies, music, animation and art, acting, gaming, and all things creative? Well, you've come to the right place. Introducing your host, award-winning writer, director, voiceover artist, and owner of MLA Entertainment, Keiko!
Thank you, Josh, and hello, everyone. This is Keiko. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Keiko's Diary, your favorite podcast for all things entertaining and creative. While I wear many hats, I consider myself first and foremost a storyteller, and that's why I started this podcast, so I could connect with other creative minds and share their stories with you. Plus, have a great time while doing it. Oh yeah. We have got a super special episode in store for you with an even more special guest. But first,
shameless plugging!
Hop on over to our YouTube channel, MLA Entertainment, and watch our original web series, Project Infinity. It's got a voice cast from New York to Japan to Australia. It's a really gripping action sci-fi type story. And plus, there's hours of love and hard work poured into every single moment of it. I wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't worth your time, so go take a look at it right now. Also, be sure to like and subscribe and leave your questions and comments to show your support for this podcast and MLA. Now on with the show! He is a New Yorker with an unrivaled passion for what he does. You have probably heard him as the voice of some of your favorite brands. He and his adorable baby son are on track to becoming the next big TikTok stars. He is my favorite actor to work with. After all, he invented acting. Everyone give a big round of applause for my good friend,
AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. Come out to support your favorite teams at the Coca-Cola Intercold 2017 season.
My name's Speed. Are you gonna sit there or fight some bad guys?
I will gladly fight. What must I do?
How are we gonna get him out of there?
Don't mind if I do. What happened to you? The Republic has brainwashed you.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
5G requires compatible plan, may not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Tom Aglio.
Thank you very much, Keiko. This is an honor, and thank you guys for listening and tuning in. I'm really excited.
Oh, and I know everyone's excited to have you here. I know I am.
Thank you.
It is just so wonderful to have you here on the show. Would you like to say hello to the listeners and tell them how you're doing and just a little more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm good. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm Tom Aglio. I'm a voice actor based out of New York. Just outside of the city. I've been doing voiceover for probably about like three and a half years now. I've been acting my whole life. I as well as voice acting, I'm also a direct marketing coach for voiceover, and I do a lot with the community, both online and here in New York. You guys might have heard me do some AT&T commercials, some McDonald's commercials. I have a big set of commercials coming out very soon, which I can't wait to talk about when I'm able to. And I have some cool series coming out too that I can't wait to share as well.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
I tell you, you are one busy guy, and
thank you. I don't even know what sleep is anymore. So I guess having a baby is a good thing since I didn't sleep anyway.
Exactly. That's a plus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so funny. Well, you are killing it. You're doing such a great job, and I just can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a great ride. It really has.
Yes, you've accomplished so much in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
It's really incredible when you look back on it.
Thank you.
And so I would like to turn the clock back a bit. And I was wondering, before you were slaying the voiceover world and you were an actor, what was your very first memory of life?
Ooh, my very first memory of life. Probably crying because I missed my mom in nursery school.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I'd say probably that. Otherwise, I remember a lot of like my first acting memories, but I I think I don't really remember beyond nursery school. So yeah, probably that.
Yeah, I would say I've got similar memories as well.
Like a lot of kids do. We all wanted our moms and stuff like that when we first went to school and everything. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And so, moving a little forward
Sure.
from your earliest memory, what was Tom like as a child, and how did one thing lead to another? Like, what were your dreams just when you were a kid, and when did you eventually first discover your love for acting?
Sure. So, I mean, as a kid, I was a pretty quiet kid. I had a nice little core group of friends, but I kind of kept to myself a lot. I played a lot of video games. That really hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of like cartoons and everything, and I'd say my first discovery of love for acting was in third grade. I played Wilbur in Charlotte's Web, and and I think that was where I first kind of got the bug, and ever since then I just love doing it, and it really just I think that was my first love for it, and then I kind of, next thing I knew, I was trying to do as much theater and acting as I could, and really became like a big part of who I was growing up.
And that was really early on for you to discover your love for it.
Yeah, it really was. And I'm very fortunate to kind of had known so early on what I wanted to do. But I definitely did discover it early.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I see that so many times, like a lot of the times, like kids who are really shy.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, they have this amazing performer just waiting to break out inside them.
Yeah, that was me. That was definitely me. I definitely felt most at home, when I was pretending to be somebody else. So that was definitely me to a T. So
yeah. Well, that's the art of storytelling.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a very powerful craft.
It is. It's important. It helps people escape, and I think especially nowadays, it's important that people kind of have that outlet and that way to escape reality just for a little bit, because there's just so much crazy things going on.
Yes, you're so right.
Yeah.
So why don't we play a game that I like to call
The 60-second 411.
It's one of my favorite parts of the show. What it
Awesome.
is, we've got 60 seconds on the clock and 15 questions.
Okay.
So I'm
ready.
just going to be spitting these out, and we're going to see how many we can get answered before time runs out.
Sounds good.
All right. So I will start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite movie?
Catch Me If You Can.
Favorite song?
Right now, Where I Belong by Simple Plan.
Ooh, favorite TV show?
Either The 100 or Big Bang Theory.
Ooh, greatest fear?
Ooh, spiders.
Hot or cold weather?
In the middle.
Me too. Night owl or morning bird?
Night, 100%.
Favorite game?
Final Fantasy 11.
Ooh, favorite food?
Barbecue ribs.
Ooh, favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yeah, favorite subject in school?
History.
Ooh, favorite place in the world?
Oh, I want to go to Japan, so I guess there.
Me too. Biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve?
Yeah.
I think chewing with your mouth open.
Oh, me too, man. Yeah. Favorite Spice Girl?
Posh.
Oh, yeah. Indoors or outdoors?
I'm going to say indoors.
Yeah, me too. You did it, Tom. Oh, my goodness.
Got through all of them?
You got all of them.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Look at that.
You've got like 5 seconds to spare, actually.
Sweet. Nice.
Whew, we moved through those really fast, didn't we?
Yes, we did. That was a lot of fun. I like that.
You are definitely a voiceover artist.
Yeah. All those. Every time I do kind of like legal copy and stuff, that's what lent itself to be able to do that at such speed.
Well, I love those answers. I have the same opinion on many of them.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for playing, Tom.
Yeah, that was good. That was a lot of fun. Thanks.
That sure was. And so, like you were saying earlier, you've given voice to practically, so many big brands that you can think of. AT&T, Coca-Cola, Papa John's, iHeart Radio. The list is endless.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun.
I bet. So well done. You've also done so much game and animation work.
Yes.
And one of the roles that must have been a lot of fun was when you voiced Speed in Marvel Avengers Academy.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I saw that. Funny. I actually booked that on my birthday. Whenever it was. And it was something I saw that audition. I was like, this is mine. I got to do this, especially because speedsters are my favorite type of superhero. So I felt it calling to me.
What a great birthday present that must have been.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. It was great.
Yeah. So what did it feel like when you got that part, and what was the process like voicing a superhero?
It was scary, honestly. It was actually, I recorded it on my own. And it was scary to do so because it's just, it's this big giant company and this big video game that so many people were a part of. And it was scary, but I was truly honored. And I just, I don't know. I'm very, just even looking back at it now, I'm very humbled to have been able to do so. And I'm happy to say that he was actually the strongest hero for a little while in the game, which was cool.
That is super cool.
Yeah. It was great. It really was. And now in no spoilers, in WandaVision, some things happen. So, who knows? Maybe they'll bring me back.
Oh my goodness. That was so exciting.
Right. Exactly.
You have a really good superhero voice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I get pegged as the hero and stuff a lot. As much as I try to sound like a villain, I get told I sound too nice. So, I guess it's not a bad thing. Being the hero is pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yes. And speaking of Speed, you've done lots of amazing character voice work, but you do tons of narration and commercial work as well, for all those amazing brands. So what does it feel like to be the voice of a big brand? I mean, that must be pretty cool.
It is. It's awesome. It's a lot of responsibility because, these brands are household names. And for them to entrust you with being the voice of their brand, these companies, they put a lot of money into their advertising. The advertising's the biggest industry out there. So it's definitely nerve-wracking, but it's humbling at the same time. And honestly, I'd probably say commercial is probably my favorite genre. I do a lot of animation and video games and stuff like that, but commercial is definitely my favorite genre. So anytime I get to add a new brand to my resume, I get super excited.
Yeah. So how would you say commercial work is different from the other types of work you do in voiceover? Yeah.
So commercial work, it's to me, it's more difficult because, listen, you're always playing a character, and that's the truth, no matter whether it's a commercial or whatever it may be. You're always playing a character. But commercials are tougher because you have to get that point across in, sometimes 15 seconds at maximum. And a lot of times, they want you to be super down to earth and casual and kind of just you and I were talking back and forth. But the way that it's written doesn't really always lend itself to that, so it's tough to do. And then there's so much technique involved, and there's so much that goes into it, and you can coach in it for days and learn different things. So I honestly, I'd say it's to me at least, it's definitely the hardest of the genres, and it's definitely the most competitive. It's very, very tough to get into.
It's intense.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are certainly a fine example of what it is to succeed in it. So
thank you. I appreciate that very much. So thank you.
You certainly work harder than anyone I've ever seen.
I appreciate it. I try. It's being an entrepreneur, it's tough and it's a lot of hours. But I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is.
And whether it's commercial work or narration or animation, you just have a natural knack for acting and performing. And obviously, you're welcome. And in this field, you have to bring to life so many different personalities. And they're sometimes completely different from your own.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you do it so effortlessly, though. So could you tell us your acting approach and how you usually get into character?
Thank you. Yeah, in terms of getting into once I'm cast as a character, I like to kind of latch, especially when it comes to a different voice that's just completely different from my own. I like to latch on to maybe something I learned, something I did in the audition or whatever, or just some kind of line of the characters that I can use before I really get into that headspace, just to make sure I have the voice down right. But I like to make sure that every single character is an extension of myself. And I believe that every voice, every character that you do is an extension of yourself. And once you kind of lose that base in reality and who you are, that's when I think the character kind of falls flat and is not believable.
Right.
So I make sure that I really try to bring myself into everything that I do, and look to different things, whatever it may be, for inspiration. And some characters even too, I actually try to find a theme song for them. believe it or not, whatever it may be, something that kind of gets me into the headspace of that character. And a lot of times I will also listen to music very, very quietly in my headphones when I am recording, just because I feel like I feel like it just gets you into that mindset, and it just makes everything kind of come alive just that much more.
That is so clever.
Yeah, I do it a lot with commercials because, you think about it, you hear a commercial and it just sounds so complete with the music. So that's what I do a lot of times. I try to, listen back to what the music I feel like might sound like, and then I feel like that really helps me get into the mindset of the spot so much more.
Yeah, because there's always music. Yeah. And it can help you make sure that you blend in with what it's most likely going to be like.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Very clever. That is so cool.
Yeah, I try. It's definitely something I try to do, and it's definitely been very helpful to me.
Yeah, you learn little tricks along the way.
You do. Yeah. You do. And it's something, I've learned things from my fellow actors as well, and you gotta do what you can to really get in the mindset of the copy and stuff. So I'm a big fan of doing all that.
Yeah. Well, it's something that you do an excellent job at.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you are, like I was saying, you are super busy. You are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Full-time, and you're also a husband and a new father. So
yes. How
do you balance all this? And what's a typical day in the life of Tom like?
Oh, man. I no longer know what sleep is, so that's a good thing. Honestly, I wake up early, and I take my son to daycare. It's nice because every morning, my wife goes to work pretty early. She works with cancer patients, so she's at work pretty early.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll wake up probably around like 6:30, unless the baby just has other plans, and we'll have breakfast together, which is always amazing. We'll watch some Mickey Mouse Clubhouse together. Aww. And then I take him to daycare, and then I kind of come home. I try to exercise, and then I get in the booth, and that's in the mornings is where I do like a lot of my clerical work. It used to be where I would do my marketing, but now I've actually had to hire an assistant overseas to help me with that. So that's been great. But I'll do a lot of my clerical work. I'll do a lot of the auditions that came in from the night before early. And then what I'll do is I will, I have my bookings and stuff throughout the day. And then I kind of try to weave in, marketing and stuff like that in between of bookings and auditions. And I try to schedule breaks. I'm not always the best at it. But it's important to do so. And so, I try to work, just 9 to 5, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. I guess that's a day in the life. Every day is different. It really, really is. That's what I love about it. So.
Yeah, especially in voiceover in particular, it really is unpredictable.
It really, really is. But it's great. That's what I love. That's part of the reasons why I love it so much.
Mm-hmm. Well, you must have some sort of superpower, like super speed. It's like you've got many arms managing all these different tasks.
Gosh. It's not easy. It's I'm not like an organized person by default. I'll fully admit that, but I've definitely had to become like that, running my own business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of your son, he's only months old.
Yeah, he just turned 6 months yesterday.
Oh, how sweet! Happy half birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, he's great. He's a good boy.
Oh my goodness, he is adorable.
Thank you.
Yes, and he's already waiting for his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, of course, he's going to do better than I am. Trust me.
Well, he's got a great teacher.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And he actually made his debut as a voice actor not long ago.
He did in this really awesome web series that everyone should check out called Project Infinity.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, yeah, you might have heard of it.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
He did.
That is so sweet of you. Would you like to tell us about getting his debut started? Like, how did you get the recording?
Oh my gosh, I literally, my wife was fortunate enough to be able to stay home for a while when he was born.
Oh, good.
So I literally told her, I'm like, listen, you got to just be on him like a hawk and always have the phone ready to record him, because I knew there was no shot that I was going to be able to get him in the booth and make noises and stuff, especially that young. So I was like, listen, you're going to have to get it on the phone. And she literally just followed him around like crazy until we got recordings. And I remember I said it to you, I was like, is this enough? Is that good enough? And I was happy that it was, and it turned out great.
It sure did.
Yeah.
I actually, one of my besties was like, that's not real, is it? Because it sounded too perfect and precious.
See, he's a good actor. He gets that whole natural character across.
He's got it.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. So that's really sweet and special.
Yeah.
And so, I've got to ask you one question about Project Infinity.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you voice the main character, Gun Lambton.
I do.
Yes, I can say wholeheartedly, you are the best actor I have ever worked with.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much. It really, really does. Thank you.
I really mean it. I've worked with, dozens of people through the years, and you're just highly recommended. You've brought everything to the role that I hoped for and so much more.
No, and thank you. Seriously, Gunn is so much fun to play. He really, I look forward every time you send a new script. I look forward to it. I really, really do, because it's become such a big part of my business, and it's honestly one of the two projects that I still do from when I first started voiceover, and it's just such a delight to be able to do every single time. And Gunn's fun to play too, because he's going to be happy in one scene and he's going to be going nuts in another, so he keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, as an actor, it must be lots of fun just to let loose.
Yeah, it is, and I try. It's funny, I as much as your writing's phenomenal, so like as soon as you send the scripts, I want to read it, but I try to just not read the scripts before I record, just so it's kind of like, I'm caught off guard by what Gunn's going to do. And I feel like that influences the performance. Because I feel like in a way, the audience is caught off guard too, because he's just such a volatile character.
He is.
That, you never know what he's going to do next. So for me to not know what he's going to do next until I get to those lines, I definitely feel like it helps a lot.
Yeah, it really makes the performance kind of more authentic because you're experiencing it the first time. Exactly.
And I don't really, I don't go into it. I go into it with nothing but my instinct. And as for all you aspiring actors out there, your instinct is one of the most important things.
And that's a very valuable tip, because a lot of the times you have to do cold reading. Yeah,
you got to be very good. You got to get good at cold reading. You really, really do. It's important to do that. And you have to, it's a skill. It really is a skill, and you have to not be afraid to do it either. It's something very important to learn how to do.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your wonderful work you're doing as Gunn. I'm just so happy you're playing him. And
oh no, thank you. So yeah, I love it. I can't wait to see everything that goes on.
Oh, many exciting things on the way.
Yes, I can't wait. Oh, and let me just say, I don't know if she's going to listen. I've actually been meaning to email her. But the girl who plays Calanth, and finally I got the name right.
You got it.
She's wonderful. She's absolutely, and it's funny, like I'm not one to say those things. Like I am, I definitely praise actors and stuff like that. But when I see brilliance, I need to point it out, and she's brilliant.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. Jenna Birmingham. She is a talent for sure.
Yeah. Where do you find? I'm an interview. Where do you find everybody, Keiko? Because like everybody you've gotten is just so good at their parts.
Oh well, that is so kind of you, Tom. Casting is one of my favorite parts of the process. I love it. And in Calanth's case, Jenna actually auditioned.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, on Casting Call Club.
Cool.
And many times, I message people myself. I look them up and I reach out.
Yeah.
And just like that's what happened with you when you first auditioned.
Mm-hmm.
But I listed the character on Casting Call, and it was amazing. It was meant to be. She submitted the audition.
She's wonderful.
Yes, she was a huge part of that episode. Very captivating.
Oh my God. And it's funny because I was talking to Kevin the other day.
Yeah.
And he hadn't watched it yet. I'm like, you need to see the actress who plays Calanth. It's out of this world.
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm so excited. There's some very unexpected things coming up with her character.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what she does. I think most of all. So it's great.
Oh, well, it's only fitting that her actress does a captivating job because they're related, Gunn and Calanth. So
yes, very important. Very, very important.
It runs in the family.
It does, this instability.
It does.
Yeah.
And so your family seems to be so supportive, and your wife.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, your wife in particular. I mean, she's one of your biggest fans. And so you actually made this amazing animated video talking about your story with her for your wedding.
Yes, I remember that. She's the best. And it's funny, she just walked in the house, so she's going to hear me. So she'll probably be like, okay, what do you want from me that you're that you're talking about me conveniently as soon as I get home?
Like, hello.
Yeah. No, but it's great. I tell everybody, I literally, all I do is talk into the mic. Like that's all I do. She's the brains, the heart behind the entire business. And I could not do any of it without her. I really couldn't. She's the one who just pushed me to do voiceover to begin with.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's literally, and it's funny. Like anytime I book something, I always say, like, we booked this and we booked that and stuff like that, because it really is. Like I said, I cannot do any of it without her. That's the honest truth.
Wow. So it's really a good team effort.
Yes, it has to be. And acting is just one of those fields that it's so volatile, and there's so much rejection that you really need a good support system or you'll go nuts.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we all need that one person we can go to at the end of the day.
Very important.
Well, that's wonderful. And everyone is different on this, but I'm one of those people who I can be very shy about my friends and family listening to my voice work. And so, but everyone's different. So I was wondering, does your family listen to your work, and do you enjoy hearing your own voice?
It's funny that you say that, because it's like growing up, I hated hearing my own voice. Like when you would hear it on voicemail and stuff. I love hearing my voice now, like on TV or in in Project Infinity and stuff. I love hearing that. But like home videos, even ones that we take now, like when we take home videos of like our son and stuff, I hate hearing my voice. I don't know why.
No way.
I hate it. It's weird. I don't know. I've gotten used to it on the microphone, but I don't think I'll ever get used to it like in like a regular, everyday setting.
Well, you should talk all day. You have an amazing voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's really funny. But yeah, I mean, I can do like anything when I'm recording, and I feel so confident and good, but then my family wants to hear it. And I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Oh, yeah. My mother-in-law, she gets so mad at me. She's like, can you just do a job? Like, you just do a line from a job that you did. It doesn't, animation, commercial, it doesn't matter what it is. And I'm like, no, I won't do it. You can listen to it recorded. But yeah, that's, I don't know. It's just, and it's funny. It's like, I don't get stage fright because I love being on stage. That's where I got my start, but I don't know. I just can't, I guess when I hear other people listen to it, it kind of, I don't know. It's still surreal, I guess.
Yeah. It's off stage. It can be a bit different.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that is just so admirable about you is your positive attitude.
Thank you.
I mean, and obviously there must be so many times when it's hard. This industry has so much rejection, but you always keep pushing forward and seeing the best in every situation, which I think is the key.
Thank you. Yeah, it's it's important because there's just so much rejection.
Yes.
There really is. Just it doesn't matter how big you get in your career, you're going to get more no's than yeses. It's just the way it is. And this business is just so subjective that you're going to get no's for things that are completely out of your control, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you really do have to stay positive. And I wish that I could say that I was positive 100% of the time, but I have my even weekly feelings and moments from like, I'm never going to book again. And things that I'll get bummed about that I didn't book, and it happens. But you just got to know that there's just like whatever opportunity just came around that you didn't get, there are going to be tons more. And, a lot of times you don't get things for a reason.
Absolutely. I agree with that. It's all a part of the journey. And
it is.
A lot of the times the biggest rejections are actually going to lead you to something even better than what you wanted.
It's true. It really is true. A lot of times, and I tell a lot of, my fellow actors, just because you didn't get something right now doesn't mean that casting didn't like you. And that's what's going to get them to call you back.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's why it's always important to give your best in everything you do.
Always.
Because they'll always keep you in mind.
Always.
How you conducted yourself and performed.
Yep. Yeah. Because, it's a lot of times it's up to the client, and they may want, no matter how well you did, they may want an actor that they've worked with before. They just feel comfortable doing that, and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, you gotta always know that it's part of the job, and you're there to impress casting at the end of the day.
Yeah. Consistency is the key.
Yes. In marketing and voiceover and auditioning, everything.
I agree. Why don't we switch gears again and play another game that I'm sure you've heard of?
Truth or Dare?
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So this is the part of the show where we've got this intense heartbeat playing in the background. So
Cool.
yeah, it's like dim the lights. This is intense.
Sure.
No worries. It's going to be fun.
Good. I'm excited.
Truth or dare, Tom?
I guess we'll start with truth.
Have you ever used your voice acting talents to your advantage on the phone or something?
Yes, I have actually. Not so much like voices, but like improv, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like messing with all those robocalls and stuff when you know those tons of car warranty and college loan robocalls that everyone gets nowadays. Yeah. So definitely my improv skills came into play there.
Oh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
It's so tempting when you get one of those robots or telemarketer.
It's fun. It's definitely one of the perks of being an actor.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Truth or dare?
I guess dare. Might as well.
Okay. So you often are told that you would make an incredible Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, could you give us a little sample of your take on the character?
Oh, man. Oof. All right. I guess I can say some lines. So
yeah, go for it.
and these are going to be random lines that I've heard in like games and stuff. So they're not going to make any sense in terms of like a script or a story. So some of the things I've heard, like Sonic's the name and Speed's my game, and things like you might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you because I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, I can see the character in my head.
Thank you. And one thing I've heard from Roger Craig Smith doing, he's like, he said drop the critters, Eggman, things like that. So
yeah.
Oh
my goodness, that was just on the spur of the moment. You're so good at this.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, Sega, if you're listening. It's funny, too, because, Roger did a phenomenal job, and he just stepped down as the character. And I figured, I was going to shoot my shot, and I said to my agent, I'm like, listen, I'm sure that they're going to pick somebody out of L.A., a well-known actor, because this is just such an iconic character. I said, but if you see an audition come through, if you see an audition in the pipeline, just know that I'm more than willing to do it.
Yeah, send it over.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's another thing, aspiring actors out there, you always got to shoot your shot and just try it out.
You sure do, and you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. You just never know.
Especially when you're so fitting for the role.
Thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can't think of anyone better.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hoping one day we'll make it happen.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truth or dare, Tom?
We'll go with truth again.
Is there something surprising about you that people may not know?
Ooh, surprising about me. It's funny because a lot of people think that I'm the opposite. I'm actually very, very, very introverted. And as much as I kind of like put myself out there in terms of marketing and in terms of, auditioning and making my, building up my presence online and stuff like that, I'm extremely introverted.
Is that right?
Yeah, very, very introverted. And I'm a big homebody. So, it's funny because I'll never forget, I went to a holiday party, when in-person gatherings were a thing a couple of years ago for the voice actors of New York. And one of my buddies was there. He's like, you're just like so extroverted. I was like, listen, I'm really not. I was just in my element. So yeah, I'm actually a very, very, very big introvert.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
And a lot of entertainers are.
Yeah, I've noticed that. A lot of entertainers are, have anxiety, like I have anxiety and stuff, and a lot of them do. And I think that acting is actually very helpful for anxiety because, you get to kind of express yourself and put yourself out there, but it's not you, it's a character. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it is you, you bring yourself to every character, but you get to, I think at least, you can say, okay, well, this is how the character would act. And, at the end of the day, it's not like entirely a reflection on who I am. So, I think, a lot of actors do have, feel that way. And I think that's why we're drawn to being somebody else.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic voiceover.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. I love it. And it's just, even on my days where I'm like just not feeling well, or I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to record today. The second I get behind the mic, it's like something else takes over. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't think I was going to be able to get all this work done. I didn't think I wanted to work today, but I was able to get it done. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just in your blood.
It is. It's great. And it's kind of one of those things, like once that bug has you, that's it. There's no choice but to kind of give in.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right. Truth or dare, Tom?
Let's go with another truth. I'll probably do a dare next, but yeah.
What is the last song you listened to?
The last song that I listened to, this is embarrassing, was the Paw Patrol theme song with my son.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He's a big fan of, it makes him crack up. Like whenever you put like one of those, like a song on, and you kind of like lip sync to it. So I do that with him a lot. And the Paw Patrol theme song is one that he likes a lot. So that's probably I think that's the last song I listened to.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
hey, it's
yeah.
catchy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's so funny. And my wife sent me a TikTok of like different parents reacting like all these different kids songs. It's like I can relate so much because a lot of them really are very catchy.
I know. It's just like you'll just be going throughout your day and you'll find yourself just singing it. It's like, what?
yeah. It's funny. So yeah, I think that was probably the last song that I've listened to.
Oh, well, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A truth or dare?
All right, we'll go with dare again.
All right.
Yeah.
So everything you do, you have to give a different read on something. Sometimes you have to be conversational and upbeat, and sometimes you have to be a little more somber or whatever. You have to just do it all.
Right.
And so I was wondering, could you say one phrase in a few different ways just to kind of show how differently your approach can change a line?
Yeah. So, and it's funny that you say that too. I'm actually happy you did because, with voiceover, if you're trying to convey something, on stage or on camera, you have your body language and your face to be able to do so. But you don't have that in voiceover, so you really have to rely on your voice and the tones and stuff like that to really get that point across. So, like, a phrase as simple as no, you can say like, you could say like no, just very casually, like no, I'm not going to do it. You could say something like no, just very like unsure of yourself. You could say like no, like stop asking me, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
You could say like no, just very ashamed. So I think something like that, knowing that it's very important, especially in commercials, you have to have that that adjective, so to speak, that speck in the back of your mind to really guide your reads, because you have to get those points across.
And the differences between all those different takes was insane. One word.
It's funny. It's funny because I actually, when I did Songs of War, I was like a perfectionist. I still am, but like I remember I sent my lines, and I think one of the lines was just like yes or no, and the director was like, I didn't know that there were so many ways to say that word. So you got it. You have to have that. You have to be able to do that. You have to know like the different ways to say something.
And whenever I'm working with your lines, you make it so easy because you bring something different to each take.
Thank you. I try to. It's important, and I just try to get into Gunn's head and how I would react in a given situation. So.
Well, you do such a great job, and it makes it so easy for me and any director because you make each take so clear.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for playing Truth or Dare with me.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked that.
When you aren't taking over the world and doing your thing, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I'm a big video game nerd. I love playing video games.
Me too.
It's a big part of honestly why I got into voiceover. I love playing video games. I love my wife and I are big TV people. We have like a lot of shows that we watch and stuff like that. Other than that, I kind of video games, hanging out with my son, and TV and movies are pretty simple. I'm a pretty simple kind of regular dad and regular guy, and that's just what I love doing.
Yeah, I bet at the end of the day you just like to do some chill things.
Yeah, I have to. I really have to. I'm not the type of person who can just go to bed right away. I have to have like my me time. Especially like in with voiceover, you have a whole day of putting yourself out there and vulnerability and stuff like that you need to just be able to unwind.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to make time for it.
You do. You absolutely do.
This is sort of random, but while we're on the topic of video games, I've got to say, I just think I must speak it to the world. You would make an incredible Sly Cooper.
Oh, thank you. I remember you said that. I would love that. And it's funny because I missed that series. I really hope it comes back because the last one left on such a cliffhanger.
It did.
Yeah. So I really would love for that series to come back. We'll see. Maybe it will.
Yeah, I've got a good feeling about it because we've seen things like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot kind of being relit.
Yeah, we live in a time, I feel like, where a lot of classics are coming back, and I definitely consider that a classic.
Yeah,
I would
me
love
too.
for that to come back, and Jack and Daxter. Those are probably like the two series I would love to see come back.
Oh, I love those games.
They're great.
It's really
They're great.
funny. One day I was playing Sly and I got really confused because
Yeah.
I had been editing your lines earlier that day.
Yeah.
And then here I was playing Sly and I got confused because I was like, this is familiar. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Tom.
Yeah.
I think he must have recorded this and didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, I wish. That'd be awesome. No, that'd be a cool character to play. I love playing those like kind of thieving, roguish type characters. It's a lot of fun.
So you're owning the industry and making your mark already, and you're still so young. So what are your goals for the future, and where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, my goals for the future, I would love to do more commercial work and really become the national voice of a big brand, long term. I would love to, continue doing a lot of animation and things like that. My wife and I may eventually go to LA. We'll see. It's like I do a lot of stuff here, and especially now, the industry is all remote, but a lot of that big stuff that that glamorous stuff that everybody wants to do is still in LA. So I think that might be a move that we might do in the future. Other than that, I would love to be the voice of a network. Pretty big lofty aspirations, but I've accomplished a lot of my dreams. Especially things like why I got into voiceover to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's I'd say those are probably my goals going forward.
Well, I see great success coming your way.
Thank you.
I mean, look at what you've done in just like 3.5 years.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I really have. I've worked very hard, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It's been great.
Well, you've certainly earned it, and I think the best is yet to come.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so as we wrap up our conversation, I was wondering, could you tell your fans what they can look forward to from you and what your current plans are?
Yeah, so I have a lot of stuff, under NDA that I'm definitely going to share as things come. So definitely, be on the lookout for on my social media channels and stuff like that. For some exciting announcements coming up in the near future. I definitely, let me know if you guys hear some of my work with AT&T. You can hear them on if you listen to podcasts on Spotify and different things like that. I do a lot of work and streaming radios. I do a lot of the commercials for AT&T there. I have some cool commercials coming out for some pretty big brands. So definitely let me know if you hear those. Other than that, yeah, there's so much of it under NDA that I wish I could talk about, but I promise, just keep your eyes on my social media and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Yeah, it is. I promise. It's coming.
So exciting. And also, where can the listeners best keep up with you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter and Instagram, at Tom Aglio VO, LinkedIn and Facebook. Let's just search for Tom Aglio. I'm on TikTok. My wife runs my TikTok, so you can sometimes find me on there when she can convince me to do a TikTok.
I love it. It's so entertaining.
Thank you. And if you can also check out my website. You could see some of my latest work and stuff like that there. Just www.tomaglio.com.
Well, everyone go check it out. Tom is so talented and incredible.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And that wraps up another episode of Keiko's Diary. And so I would like to thank our listeners for their love and support, as well as Tom for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Keiko, and thank you guys. It's been so much fun. Just everybody keep watching Project Infinity. It's amazing. I'm amazed just as much as you are every single time I find out what's going on. And for all you aspiring voice actors out there, just remember that excitement and that joy of why you got into the industry in the first place, and keep at it because it's tough, but it's the best road.
That is some sound advice right there.
Good. I'm glad.
We must all keep that in mind.
Yes, it's important.
Before we go, Tom,
yes,
could I ask you to say one last thing?
I am Tom Aglio, the voice of Gun Lambden. From MLA Entertainment, keep checking out our series, Project Infinity. And as always, keep being creative.
Keep being creative. That's right.
There you go. Perfect.
Thank you for listening to Keiko's Diary. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We would love to hear from you. Write questions and comments to show your support and share this podcast with your friends. We'll be back with another exciting episode before you know it. In the meantime, keep being creative.